The blonde BL03 has always been the go-to recommendation by audiophiles and chi-fi lovers for newcomers in the audio hobby. Its mad affordable price, build quality and amazing fun sound makes it an attractive entry-level IEM. But what if I told you there's an alternative that has a hybrid configuration with the combination of dynamic driver, a nose balance armature with similar price, build quality and a better sound? You are watching Max Tries, and this is the review of the Senfer DT9. The Senfer DT9 is a chi-fi IEM that doesn't get much recognition in the chi-fi and audiophile community, which is strange because Senfer got their name out with their higher end product, which is the MT300, but the DT9 is not as lucky. Well, hear me out. For just $20, you get these stunningly crafted metal shells as their housing, and the best of all is a hybrid setup with a well-tuned dynamic driver and a balanced armature that is from nose. Yes, the nose that we all know about, which still blew my mind how they can even pull it off with this price range. Before we jump into the sound, let's check out the accessories they offer. From the one that I bought, Senfer initially gave out nothing but just a generic IEM case, some really bad silicone tips that can barely fit into your ears without any seal no matter what size you use, and you might have noticed as well that I didn't mention anything about cable, because they don't come with any. So I have to settle with the trusty TRN-T3 cable. Although during the time of this recording, they already rolled out a version with a box and cable included. Used to be slightly more expensive than the one without cable, but what I found recently seems to settle down on the $20 range. On to the sound quality. The DT9 has a typical V-shaped tuning with focused lows and highs, while the mids is slightly recessed. Though the DT9 is V-shaped, it's not a sharp V, nor as harsh as what others claim. Because throw it back when I first got them, I posted a picture of the DT9 in the chi-fi group, and instantly I got a bunch of similar questions asking is the highs sharp or fatiguing. So let's address the highs first. I initially listening to them with the tips from the Moondrop aria, and yes, they does sound a little bit sharp while listening to Vocaloid's song, as I'm a heavy Vocaloid listener. My benchmark track is always Web Dance by Easy Pop. Because the song, besides having Miku's voice, there's a lot of sharp step synth melody throughout, especially on the build-up before the drop. Another noticeable example is Autumn Leaves by Clark Terry. The intro with the muted trumpet will stab you right in your right ear without mercy. I genuinely thought I bought a bad pair of IEM and is a little bit disappointed until I matched them with a pair of foam tips. After pairing them with foam tips, the sound drastically changed. It changes so much that it sparks me to make this review because of how good they became. The highs are a lot more tame and smoother. Vocals sounded superb as the foam tips dampened highs just enough where it's not too harsh, yet crystal clear and have definition. It brings female vocal that has a slightly deeper voice like Norah Jones or Anna Karam a slight kick to make their vocals stand out, whereas Vocaloid like Miku have just enough highs that makes it really enjoyable. Talking about bass, when the blonde BL03 is mentioned, it always stands out of the bass amount they have, but the bass on the DT9, they are like on steroids. And also, the review from now onwards is with foam tips applied. Bass heads, keep your ears peeled because you have a new challenger in the block. No, seriously, the bass amount in this guy really shocks me, like literally. Back when I pulled this out for a first listen, I never expect how much bass is pumping into my ear canal. For context, I was listening to Bigger Person by Ali Ghati. The first drum kick at the intro makes my eyes wide open as I never heard that much bass in that song before. So I eagerly jumped into rap and EDM. No surprise they sounded great as well, but seems more controlled and not overpowering, yet still have that sub kick to it without aggressive bleed. Then I hop on to jazz where the double bass are sweet and overall rounded. Songs from artists like The Acid and James Lake can really vibrate your eardrums. At times, you can feel like there's bone conduction tag in it as well. Even though I mentioned that the DT9 has a V-shaped tuning, but the mids ain't really lacking either. Male vocals like Mark Knopfler and Josh Groban sounds forward yet relaxed. They blend well in the mix and doesn't disappear even when the track gets busy and loud with loads of element in it. At times, they might be shy if the track is badly mixed and mastered. One word to describe the mids is smooth. It doesn't have the high mid boost that makes it shouty and fatiguing. And finally, soundstage and imaging. For the DT9, they are just alright. Staging is not superb, but it's adequate without it getting too close into your face. And imaging is quite accurate, not spectacular nor horrible. Both did just average. And that concludes the review of the Senfer DT9, a $20 hybrid configure IEM that sounded great, which to me is a big step up over the Blonde BL03, but with some flaws, like the ear tips are garbage, the case is meh, and it doesn't come with any cable. But all these flaws are easily solvable with the use of third-party ear tips. Foam tips will be the best pairing, and any cables that you like to use, since it is a MMCX connector. With all these paired, you have a solid sounding IEM for just $20. In drawing things to a close, let's score them by starting with the design. I really love their design with those diamond looking angle cut, that low-key resemblance of the Moondrop KXXS, while still keeping it original, so it gets a 6 out of 10. Moving on to the build quality and comfort. The build is spectacular with a full metal body while the weight is not too heavy. Together with the relatively small size, it fits really well and is quite comfortable as well, so it gets a 6 out of 10. Heading on to accessories, it's just a total disappointment. Even you get variety of ear tips, their horrible quality will not seal nor sit in your ear, and their carry case is just alright, so it gets a 3 out of 10. Heading forward to the sound, they are totally amazing, with that crazy amount of bass that hit the sub level, together with the crystal clear highs, all thanks to the nose BA while blending in with the right amount of mids. They really are the king that hides in the high side, that worth a 7 out of 10. And finally, value. The DT9 should be the budget king with its amazing build, sound, and the hybrid configuration while just selling at $20. Easy 10 out of 10 in value. Add them all up, 32 points out of 50, making it my default recommendation. Thanks for watching the review of the Senfer DT9. Do you agree with what I said about them? Do you have a pair? Let me know your thoughts down below. And let me know your thoughts about this review as well. I'm open for feedback. If you have any products that you want me to review as well, please comment down below. I will take it into consideration. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on the notification so you won't miss out on new videos. See you next time. Enjoy listening.